Mr. Washington, would you give us your full name and DOC number?
Ali Jabbar Washington, 468-399.
Mr. Washington, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then we're going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will ask the warden for his input, and we will allow those persons who wish to have input to speak. You have a lot of people there behind you, a lot of people on my list here, and there's 6 people that indicate they want to speak. We only allow 3 people. So you're going to have to decide which 3 people you want to speak. I'll tell you the ones who've indicated they want to speak, then I'm going to read everybody else out. Shonda Washington, who is your cousin, wishes to speak. Shaflon Washington, who is your cousin, wishes to speak. Tia Burton, who is your cousin, wishes to speak. Shepard Washington, who is your uncle, wishes to speak. Bruce Hinton, who is your pastor and uncle, wishes to speak. And your brother, Gerald Washington, wishes to speak. You can choose to have 3 of those persons speak. Who do you want to talk?
Gerald Washington, my brother.
Okay.
My uncle Bruce Hinton, the pastor.
Okay.
My uncle Shepard Washington.
Okay. I'm going to call out the names of everybody else who's here to support you. Your cousin, Alexis Manshak, Shira James, your aunt, Rochelle Ben, your cousin, Shonda Washington, your cousin, Shaflon Washington, your cousin, Naquil Washington, your cousin, Trieste Wells, your cousin, Tia Burton, a cousin, Denise Bush, an aunt, Joshua Washington, a cousin, Quatrain Washington, a cousin, Guy Boudreau, a paralegal, Gil Jasmine, your cousin, Rashawn Evans, a cousin, Chad Washington, a cousin, Brandon Washington, a cousin, your mother, Linda Washington, and a cousin, Norman Lamar. At the end of the hearing, you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say to the board, then we'll vote. You understand our process?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the matter of Ali Washington, DOC number 468-399, date of birth September the 24th of 1978. He has a parole eligibility date of September the 24th of 2023, an adjusted good time date of September the 16th of 2035, a full term date of September the 10th of 2042. He is currently serving a 40-year sentence on the charge of manslaughter, having been sentenced on May the 20th of 2003. Mr. Washington, is that information all correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Washington, your case has been assigned to Ms. Pearl Wise. She will begin the process of interviewing you. Would you please answer any questions she might have?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. It's still morning. How you doing?
Fine.
That's good. Everybody look really good. It's a blessing to see so much support. Call out for the record, Mr. Washington, how long you've served in jail on this sentence?
21 years, 2 months, and 5 days.
21 years, 2 months, and 5 days.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
how old are you today?
45.
45 years of age. Okay. The records I have show that you've had 0 write-ups in that time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Since I've been on this board, going on 8 years, I have asked guys like you to write a book and tell folks how you make it without a write-up. Nobody has done it yet. Now, I want you to know there's a market for it. Families would like to know, parents would like to know, spouses would like to know, how do you go that long without a write-up? You are in a unique group, and somebody needs to write a book about it. I'm just laying it out there, just laying it out there. I believe you. I do. There's a market for it because we hear all the time how it can't be done, and we seeing that it can be done. Let's talk a little bit about, you got 606 hours of programming. Call out for us the top 3 programs that meant the most to you that you've taken.
Ooh, the top 3.
I know, it's hard.
I would have to say, probably pre-release,
Okay,
the transition program that I have taken at Elaine Hunt,
what's it called now?
transition program.
Okay,
And top 3. And I would say Malachi Dads.
good. All right. I'm not familiar with the transition program. What was that about? What's that about?
It's a 90-day program at Elaine Hunt's.
Uh-huh.
It has it teaches where it has different classes inside of the program, and it has one called Tapuco, which is the only person you treat is you. That's the acronym for Tapuco. The only person you treat is you. They have a RDAP inside of it, which is a residential drug abuse program.
Okay.
And it talks about using drugs and any type of addictive behaviors, whether it's gambling, or it could be pornography, or stealing, whatever it is, anything addictive that's harmful. That's what RDAP talks about.
Oh, good. We're good. Thank you for educating me on that. I didn't know.
You're welcome.
And when I read your history, you shouldn't be here. You grew up in a 2-parent home. You started off as a barber, and well, first of all, your dad put a basketball goal in the backyard, which means that, you know, I want all the kids come here where I know where what's going on. You had that going for you. You had a 2-parent home. Your mother said y'all were in church, you're Catholics of the Catholic faith, and graduated high school, was a barber, you know, already enterprising, you got that certification. So tell us why you're here.
Well,
What happened?
I just went to that bar that night with my girlfriend to meet her parents, and they had the 2 guys in the bar. Started off straight when we went in there, just, you know, looking at me, kind of staring at me, kind of crazy. And I seen them, and I, you know, tried to look it off. And my girlfriend, mother, and stepfather that was there, they had all their friends. Everybody was like in their 40s and 50s at the time. We was the only 2 younger ones there. You know, after a few games of pool, I went and used the bathroom. I'm coming back from using the bathroom, and the 2 guys are walking toward me. And they got directly in front of me as I'm walking back to my seat. And I moved out of their way 3 times trying to avoid them. But every time I moved, they moved back in front of me. Until the 4th time, we was like right almost face to face, and they bumped into me. But I just kept walking and went sat down at my seat. And I was kind of, that moment right there had me kind of, you know, scared, like nervous. But I still tried to overlook it. And then maybe, I guess an hour or so later, we decided to leave. And as I was shaking all the gentleman's hand, leaving, standing up, the 2 guys passed the table up, looking at me again, and they went outside. So when I seen that, it kind of threw up a red flag. So I sat back down and I told them, y'all know what? I'm not gonna leave yet. I'm gonna hang for a little while. Trying to see if the guy was gonna come back in there and, you know, give an indication that they was looking for me or whatever, trying to mess with me or whatever, but that never happened. So after about an hour after that, we leave. Me, my girlfriend at the time, decided to leave, and we're walking in the parking lot. The guys were sitting in the car in the parking lot, but they got out the car after we passed them. And it was threatening me, cursing me, but we just kept walking. So we got in the car. I backs out to leave. I'm driving off. I see the reverse lights turn on their car. So I stopped, thinking it was gonna back out, but they didn't. And they got out, jumped out the car. I mean, all of a sudden, and I panicked. I had a legal 40 caliber. I pulled it out, got out of the car. Like I said, the parking lot was dark. It was nighttime. I didn't know if they had anything in their hand or what, and I just started shooting at them. And they ran back in the car and jumped in their car. I got back in the car I was in. I drove off, and they drove off. And only 3 days later to find out that, you know, a guy had died.
And the other part of the story, according to the records, that you were a marijuana dealer. You was a barber and a marijuana dealer, so you were known to have a lot of cash on you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you think that's the reason why they were after you?
I mean, I don't know, because that was my first time at that place.
Found out. You never found out?
Found out.
Never found out why. Yeah. Go ahead.
When I said we was total strangers, I never even knew him.
But maybe you weren't aware, according to something in the record, though, you had a reputation in the community for being, you know, the barber, you know, and the weed dealer, and so you always had, you know, lots of cash on you.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
there was a belief that was the motivation behind that. And tell us about your education. I know you have a high school diploma. What else have you done educational? And you're a licensed barber. What
Yes,
else
ma'am.
have you?
I have an associate's degree in general studies with emphasis in business from River Parishes Community College, a carpentry trade from Baton Rouge Community College. I'm Serve Safe certified, small engines trade. What else I tell you?
I think, well, look, that's all I got written down.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
do you know anything else about your barber license and getting that reinstated? Well, what do you know so far about that?
Yes, ma'am. I have a job plan right now in order with a man named Mr. Stewart that lives in Gonzales, where my family now lives, and he's going to help me through his apprenticeship to get my license reinstated upon my release.
Oh, okay. So that's what you have to do, apprenticeship, and then get it. That's
Yes, ma'am.
okay. That's your procedure. Okay. So, and what's your residence plan if you're successful today?
With my mother,
Okay.
Gonzales.
Okay. The record shows that you were a drug dealer. What about drug using?
No, ma'am.
So it was strictly a business decision for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to state for the record that you do have law enforcement opposition to your early release. There's nothing you can do about that, but there's some opposition expressed. Probation parole was unable to reach any of the victims' families, so we don't have any victims' comments for consideration today.
Yes, ma'am.
I thought that's about all I have. Warden, what can you share with us about this young man?
How you doing, Ms. Wise? You know, when we sit on these boards with these guys, you know, some of them have some, you know, pretty serious crimes, and you know, our responsibility on this board is to speak on what they've done since they've been incarcerated. All right, and Mr. Washington, he's done some awesome things since he's been incarcerated. I think he's done everything that we've asked of him and then some. And to see a guy that's been incarcerated for over 20 years to not have not one disciplinary report, and looking back at his rap sheet, he was at Angola. So for all those guys that go to Angola and say, I was at Angola, that's why I got these write-ups. We know that an inmate can go to Angola and not receive write-ups. So he's one of the ones that you feel very comfortable when you sit on the board and say good things to the board about. I think he definitely is a success story. All right, so Warden Bickham had a brief conversation with me before I came in. He interviewed him, and he is the head warden, and he too was impressed at what he saw. So I definitely think if given the opportunity today, that Mr. Washington can definitely go out into the society and be successful.
Thank you, Ward. That's all I had.
Thank you, Warden.
Mr. Chairman, may I take your personal privilege?
Certainly.
Mr. Washington, I enjoyed reading your mother's letter, Miss Linda Washington.
Yes,
And she sort of explained that you were raised in the church. And I noticed that you attended All Saints Catholic Church in Algiers, Louisiana.
sir.
I'm a proud graduate of All Saints Catholic Church School in Algiers, and attended All Saints Catholic Church all my life until I went to college. And your entire family is from the West Bank?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm a native of Redmond, Louisiana. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Roche. Now we'll hear from your supporters. We'll hear from your uncle, Shepard Washington.
Yes, I'm Ali's brother. I'm a younger brother, but Ali, all of us grew up. He was raised. All of us kids was raised together. Ali went to school, played, went by everybody's house. These kids didn't come up. Ali never was a bad child. He he's a barber, he's cut hair. He never, in my heart, I don't believe my nephew would never hurt nobody. He just made a mistake at the time. And I know he didn't mean it. I know he regret, but we can't take back. But he's got a good heart. He's never changed, and just like nobody's perfect. Sometimes we make bad decisions, and I think he made a bad decision. He was young, and then like I heard him say he was scared. And when you're scared, you don't know what you do, But to me, I'm 69 years old. I've been around him all his life, and he never was that type of person where he would go out and hurt nobody. He cut hair and tried to do the best he could. Yeah, the drug for selling weed. It was something that he did, but I don't think he needed that. But they have to grow up and make their own mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes, But he have a good heart, and still have a good heart. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Washington. Now we're here from your uncle, Bruce Hinton.
First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of my nephew. I'm too from Gretna, Louisiana, and having grown up on the West Bank, having removed myself with my family from here to Baltimore and stayed away, and in returning, coming back and entering into the ministry, my son, Ali, and two others. One is a LSU coach today. The other one is at San Diego University today. And my son, of course, is here or is in New Orleans. I'm a Baptist pastor and a God-fearing pastor, I'd like to think. And I'm certain that Ali, having grown up with my son and my family, that he was shaped and molded to be a God-fearing person. But we also know that all have sinned and come short of the glory. So we've all done our deeds, and many of us got away with it. In his case, he didn't. And because of that, he's had to serve time. And I think that his time that he served has been a good lesson for him to know not to go back in that direction. As a pastor, I will do everything I can possibly do. Now, he's Catholic. Got to understand this. My wife is Catholic. My children are Catholic. But I'm a Baptist pastor. And I've had to reconcile with that in my family and see how that could work out. You know the old saying, a family that prays together stays together. And I sought the Lord on how to do that. And he said, it's all right, because when you were out there in the streets, your wife was praying and she had the children praying and you were nowhere around. Now you become a pastor, you got so holy, you want her to come go with you. No, leave her alone. And that's what I had to do, leave her alone. When I'm ready, I'll send her to you. And sure enough, it's been 31 years now I've been a pastor. And she has maintained her membership upon our return from Baltimore back to New Orleans at All Saints, where they go to church at. And so this is my wife's sister, daughter's son. Ali has been a part of this family and will continue to be a family. And I trust that I can be instrumental in helping shape and molding him, keeping him with the behavior that he'll never have to go before a board like this again in his life. Thank you for the privilege.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we'll hear from your brother, Gerald Washington.
How y'all doing? My name is Gerald Washington. I'm the little brother of Ali Washington here. I just want to say, the family have my condolences from what happened. Y'all have our heart. We can't bring a life back, but we can save a life. And, I believe the prison then shaped and molded my brother into somebody that's better than the person he was when he first came in. Because I don't think, what he did, I don't believe he's gonna come out and do any of that anymore. I believe he's a changed person. He didn't got college degrees. He didn't even help me pass tests, and he didn't even help me get further in my restaurant, my restaurant business. So I come here this day to say thank you in advance for everything, for whatever decision you make. I just want to say thank you, and we just say we love you. Appreciate it.
Let me see your shirt. Let's see your shirt you got on. What it say? Oh
Great.
my goodness. All right. All right. Thank you.
You welcome.
Mr. Washington, is there anything you'd like to say before the board votes?
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Thank you very much. Ms. Wise?
Already. When your uncle was talking, I think I threw the Baptist preacher. I was saying amen. Just come out when he finished. Mr. Washington, I appreciate you making my job easier. As your warden said, that we wrestle some, but yours is easy. The main point of the interview was to put it on the record so people on YouTube and where else can know that that it can be done. And that was the main point of even asking you all the questions and all. My vote is to grant based on your outstanding institutional record, outstanding community support at the hearing and in the record. We have abundance of letters that were sent in as well. The warden's comments, your good institutional record, and you have an excellent transition plan that's already been set forth. The only special condition I have is that I saw recently on Facebook where a barber had gone to an elementary school and cut boys' hair. I would like to see you do something like that on a quarterly basis or something, and then share your testimony. If the schools allow you, but it was just wonderful. Once I don't know about haircuts and how, but if it's something you can do only at an elementary school, and that would have a big impact on those single moms because barbers were so expensive. Do that at least 3 months, begin that 3 months after release, get acclimated or whatever, but let that be your community service. Best wishes to you, but I'm only one vote.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Washington, after I read all of the information and all the programs you completed, all the vocational you completed, I wrote one note at the top of your case. And it says, every component of this offender's rehabilitation is complete. He is ready to be released. And that was before I read your mother's letter.
Thanks.
Being incarcerated for 20+ years without a write-up, that shows your ability to follow rules and regulations. You had positive remarks from Warden Turner. You have excellent family support. Based on all of those factors, I grant your early release under the following conditions. Curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I want to piggyback on Mrs. Wise. I want you to cut the hair, but I also want you to tell your story to at-risk youth. Risks are running rampant. They're doing things, criminal things that we've never heard of 14, 15, 16-year-olds do. I want you to tell your story and try to lead them in the right direction. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Russell. Mr. Washington, I agree with my colleagues, the comments from the warden, your family support. My vote likewise is to grant, and I would like to see you. I think you have a good story to tell, and I think you really can help a lot of people out there. And it's something that we really need in this society today. So your parole has been granted. Conditions are that you perform 5 hours of community service work, beginning about 3 months after you are released, primarily to do barbering to elementary school kids, as well as telling your stories. So good luck to you.
Thank you.
Warden,
Thank you.
thank you very much. I think we're done at your facility. Appreciate all your help today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.